What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Full Command Show. My name is Grant Mitchell, and we're here to talk about everything involving the Washington Commanders. It is game day. The Washington Commanders are up in Green Bay to go to Lambeau Field to take on the Packers in a potential preview of the NFC Championship game. We know the boys in burgundy and gold reached that round last season before they fell to the Eagles. But are the Eagles still the top dogs in the conference? They are until they're beaten, but the Packers look like they could be the top challengers, and the Commanders the top challengers to them potentially. This is a matchup that has so many implications. The winner's going to emerge again as one of the favorites to win the conference, represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. But this is a very big game that needs to happen first on a very short week of rest. Guys, we're going to talk about everything that's going into this matchup. We're going to just do a little bit of a film breakdown to start off the video. Let me know if you guys enjoy this. Something that I've been doing on the channel for the first time. Thought we would take a look at some of the disguises the Packers used in their win over the Lions last week to confuse Jared Goff, and discuss how is Jayden Daniels going to handle all that stuff. We're also going to get into predictions from the media, and then we're going to talk about a breakout rookie on the Commanders that has taken names and kicking behinds. Guys, we are going to get into all that like I mentioned. Make sure you hit the like button if you are excited. It's game day. I also got to share my official prediction. That's coming at the end of the video. Hit the subscribe button if you are new around here. And without further ado, like I said, let's take it back to the classroom, why don't we? Let's go check out a film breakdown right about now. So I thought that this play actually did a pretty outstanding job of showing how defenses, specifically this Packers defense under the leadership of Jeff Hafley, will try to confuse quarterbacks with different pre-coverage or pre-snap alignments and coverages, and then they shift after the ball is snapped to make the quarterback confused about what the defense is actually giving them and where the pressure is coming from. So let me play this a little bit. So where we're at right now, this looks like it's a 5-man pressure front, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like we're going to be hot off this side because we have 3 players lined up over here. He's going to be bending around the edge. So if we let this play out just a little bit further, all of a sudden, whoa, we got a linebacker walking up into the mug right now. So now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 5 offensive linemen, and then we have a running back right here. So we're 6 on 6. We're single blocking everything as it stands. If the running back is releasing on a route, then we've got 6 blitzers, only 5 blockers. So we're going to have pressure in an instant, which means that ball needs to come out fast. And if we're not in the right look, that's going to be an issue. So again, let me just back it up right here to the start and take a look. So we see the linebacker walk down into the mug. What's happening? Still looks like a 5-man blitz right now, but we see this edge rusher who we thought we were hot off initially. He's actually dropping out, but we still got 5 to block for right here. Let it play a little bit more. And then all of a sudden, Lucas Van Ness here, he is completely dropped out of this play. So let's go back to before the ball is snapped. So it looks like we've got a single high. We're thinking cover 1, cover 3. We look at some of the alignments over here. We see they're playing off. If they're playing man, you're probably going to be up a little bit closer. So you're thinking that this is maybe a cover 3, although still the opportunity to morph into a cover 1 man, something like that, with pressure off of this side. As we play it, we see the linebacker walk down in the mug, and we drop out. So now we've got this guy covering the flat over here. He's covering the flat over here. Lucas Van Ness is dropping back into coverage. He's taking a middle hook. This player is taking a middle hook. You've got this corner responsible for deep half. This corner responsible for deep half. One of these actually is safety, but this defender is responsible for a deep half. This responsible for a deep half. And this single high look we were getting. What's he doing? He's actually dropping down to guard the pole area of a Tampa 2. Look at this. This is completely different from the look that we got. And we only have 4 rushers right here, yet they've completely disrupted the pocket. So back it up one more time. We'll see Lucas Van Ness. He's the trigger point. He's a trigger man. You got to watch. He brings the pressure and then he drops back, and watch everything morph. So this is the look that we finish with. Deep half, flat, hook, pole, hook, 4 rushers. So let's let it completely play out. So we got pressure right here. Linebacker walks up into the mug. Drop out, Tampa 2. Check the ball down to the running back. And this ends up being a 2-yard loss. So this just goes to show how defenses will try to disguise what they're showing to the quarterback. Single high look. We're thinking cover 3, maybe a chance at cover 1, which means man coverage. Then we're thinking blitz. It's actually just a standard Tampa 2, but out of a very unconventional sort of alignment. So I go all over that to say this, guys. The Packers have an outstanding defense. They've got tons of talent, lots of speed. They play a lot of zone coverage, but they definitely mess with the looks that they give you pre-snap. And that's by design. Jeff Hafley has done a wonderful job with this Packers defense, and you saw they put a world of hurt on the Lions last week. Now let's talk about what the media is saying after only 1 week of football, but ahead of this very important matchup. So NFL.com's panel picked their projected winners of this game. 9 out of the 10 went with the Packers. The only person to side with the Commanders was none other than Daniel Jeremiah. Everyone except for one panelist did have this down as a one-score game, which lines up with the sportsbook odds. They have it as the Packers favored by 3.5 points, which means they think this will be a very close game. And if we break that down even further, if we're giving 2.5 to 3 points for home field advantage, that means they say this is about a 1-point game at a neutral venue, but it is the Packers at home here, and it's also on a short week, which does play into things as well, especially when you consider the Commanders are the oldest roster, the Packers are the youngest roster. Yes, the Commanders have experience and know how to handle these situations, but father time is father time. If you got a younger body, you're going to recover faster. That helps you on a short week. So now I want to talk about what I heard from ESPN's Peter Schrager, who's somebody that I respect an awful lot. I like listening to him. He's an entertaining guy and he's intelligent. But here's what he said. He said, quote, "Don't be shocked if they being the Packers, if they come out there and they shut down Jayden Daniels. That is how good this Packers defense is. And I believe Jeff Hafley is operating at such a level that this might be the story of the NFC." Now, let me say this. I have all the respect in the world for Jeff Hafley. I think he did an outstanding job last season, and the 1 week returns from that game against the Lions show that he's taking this whole thing to another level. And that should happen when you get a Micah Parsons. Micah only played 29 snaps last week, but he was so impactful in the snaps that he did play. The Packers were able to generate pressure on 37% of snaps when they only rushed 4. They did not have to blitz to get pressure, and that is a winning formula. Now, you can flip that on its head and say, well, the Commanders just faced an outstanding defensive line last week, and they allowed the 3rd lowest pressure rate. Josh Connolly seems to get better with every game. Took his lumps, but also had a lot of winning reps, and he's got his notes down. He's going to be more prepared than he was just a week ago. Laramie Tunsil did an outstanding job. All these other players. Nick Allegretti very quietly had an outstanding week last week. So that's going to be a much closer battle than maybe what you were getting with the Lions, who were also starting a rookie in Tate Ratledge on that line. And they don't have a mobile quarterback in Jared Goff who can help alleviate some of those pressure concerns by play design. You can roll out Jayden Daniels. You can move the pocket. You can do more intricate things with your pass protection than you can do for someone who's stationary like Jared Goff. But I want to get back to the point here, which was that Peter Schrager said, don't be surprised if the Packers shut down Jayden Daniels. And I take exception to the phraseology of that. And if Jayden does not have a good game and he's shut down, and I'll come back. I say this all the time. I've got no problem being wrong. So many people are afraid of being wrong that they won't put their opinions out there, or when they do and they are proven wrong, they won't acknowledge it. If I'm wrong about this, I'm wrong about this. And I will say Packers shut down Jayden Daniels. Got no problem saying that. I think he's only been shut down, truly shut down, one time in his NFL career. The closest that I would argue to that, maybe his NFL debut against the Buccaneers, because he did a great job on the ground, ran for 88 yards and 2 touchdowns, but didn't really do much as a passer. But other than that, the time he was truly shut down was the first Thursday night game of his career against the Eagles last season, about a month or so after he had broken his rib. But strangely, the broken rib didn't seem like it bothered him a ton early on, but that was also probably dictated by the quality of opponent. He didn't look all that bothered against the Bears, didn't look all that bothered against the Giants. But then when it was a physical game against the Steelers, you saw it pop up. And then an even more physical game, you saw it pop up even more against the Eagles. So in that game, Jayden went 22 of 32 for 191 yards, touchdown, an interception, and 18 rushing yards. And I also want to say, I'm not putting this entirely on the rib injury. I'm saying it's a combination of that with facing a historic defense with a great defensive coordinator in Vic Fangio. I think all of that meshed into this perfect storm that made Jayden Daniels' worst game of his NFL career. Now, I had never seen Jayden look the way he did in that game before that moment, and I've never seen him look that way after that. So if that's what the Packers are going to do, they're going to have to do something that we literally have never seen from Jayden when healthy, and when injured, we still only seen it one time in his NFL career. So if they can do that, then the Super Bowl hype and aspirations and just excitement surrounding the Packers will absolutely be validated by that. But I'm not willing to buy in and say they're going to shut him down. Could they slow him down? You would hope so. When you've got one of the best defense in the NFL and you trade for Micah Parsons and you agree to pay him $47 million a year, you would hope you can slow him down, but still we got to see that. And what exactly does slow him down mean? Jayden had a slow game. That's what everybody's been saying. He had a slow game last week. He had 300 total yards, a touchdown, no turnovers. If you take out the 4 drops, which not his fault, literally not his fault, put the ball where it needed to be, they were dropped. His expected or his adjusted completion percentage was 79%. And that's a slow game for him. So what is a slow game in this context? I don't know. We got to wait and see. It's not going to be box score stuff. I'm just going to assume. It's going to come down to, did he convert on this 3rd down? Did he convert on this 4th down? Did you get a touchdown in the red zone, or did you have to settle for a field goal? Things like that, that context, that nuance, that's more so where I think we're going to determine if this was a good game or if he was shut down, like Peter Schrager said. Now, not picking on Peter Schrager here, because again, I like this guy. I think he's intelligent. I think he's entertaining. I was very happy when he made the move to ESPN, just because I feel like ESPN, they have their talent, and I like Mina Kimes. I like Marcus Spears. They got some people up there that I like, but I thought they could use more of that, and I thought Schrager would provide that. So I'm not picking on him personally, but he did say he didn't want to overreact to just 1 week of football against the Lions. And then he launched into why he thinks they're going to shut down Jayden and the Commanders. This is the thing. Everybody's saying, I want to overreact. I want to overreact. Everyone is overreacting. The Packers are good. Okay. I think everybody knows that. They've been good for the last couple of years. When you trade for Micah Parsons, you should be even better. But we were overreacting when we instilled the Packers as 4th in odds to win the Super Bowl. I still have questions about the quarterback. I have some questions. The offensive line is banged up heading into this game. That's something nobody's talking about. I have questions about their offensive playmakers. I think they're solid. I think they have good depth, but do they have that guy to take them over the top? And can you count on Jordan Love not to turn the ball over in the biggest moments? Although Micah Parsons helps the defense, I wasn't looking the Packers as being an edge rusher away from winning the Super Bowl. I was thinking, I just don't know about the quarterback, or I just don't know that they have the playmaker to win in the biggest moments. They have speed on the outside, but they have somebody who's going to consistently be a top 10 sort of receiver in the NFL. I don't see it on their team. And Josh Jacobs, very good running back, but is he going to give you those explosive plays you need to find points from nothing in big games, in playoff moments, high leverage moments? I don't know. That's my question about the Packers. So everybody's saying, let's not overreact. I don't think anyone was underselling them before. I think everybody knew they were good. Everyone's now just quick to anoint the Packers as this Super Bowl team and wait, and I'm not quite there with them. And this is going to be a little bit unfair. I recognize that if there are Packers fans watching this is going to be a little bit unfair. But if the Packers win this game, that's what they were supposed to do. They're 3.5-point favorites at the sports books. They're at home on a short week. And it being a short week this early in the season, when Terry McLaurin wasn't practicing, when Noah Brown wasn't practicing, when Brandon Coleman missed time, the best thing for the Commanders right now is reps and practice, and they are not getting that. So that, on top of being the oldest team in the league, on top of being on the road, this is a perfect storm for the Packers to win this game, to win a high-leverage game. And I'm not saying it would be unimpressive if they won. It would be impressive. But it would be much more impressive if the Commanders win. And if they win it, then all of a sudden I'm going, okay, they are the top challengers to the Eagles. Just because the Packers win this game doesn't mean that I'm 100% sold. I think there's still a lot of good teams. I think the Rams are good. I think the Buccaneers are good. I think you can have those debates. But again, Commanders win. I feel a little bit differently about that. Despite all these experts saying the Packers are the better team in this matchup, John Gruden, who his breakdowns are just hilarious. I mean, the guy's got so much personality. I know he wants to still coach, but he really is perfect for TV and now YouTube content. John Gruden picked the Commanders to win this one 23-20. He called it a high effort game. And that's something that I think is very fitting for what we saw from both of these teams last week. The way they attacked at the point of attack on defense, and just whenever they didn't have the ball, they wanted to go get the ball back, or they wanted to stop the team they were playing, the Lions and the Giants. They wanted to enforce their physical will upon their opponent. And that's something that I think because of the way the wins happened last week, I think both teams feel so good about themselves that they're going to go into this battle with that mindset. And so I agree, this should be a very high effort game, a lot of physicality, a lot of speed, maybe a couple big plays here and there, because some players are just trying so hard to make big plays that they actually open up on the back end, they blow coverage, or they let a running back evade a tackle, something like that. I could see something like that playing out in this game. Overall, what is my prediction here? I'm going to say it's a win for the Commanders. And I'm It's Commanders YouTube channel. I'm a Commanders fan. You see all the stuff behind me. I tend to be very objective. I said they were going to be, what did I say about I actually forgot what my score prediction was for the Giants game. Oh, I think I said it was 24-20 against the Giants, and it ended up being 21-6. So I'm not someone who just artificially or unfairly gives credit to my team. I do think the Commanders just have more answers than the Lions do. Even though the Lions have been the highest scoring team in the league, I think the Commanders can do more with Jayden Daniels and Cliff Kingsbury with the no huddle, with the empty looks. I think he is going to find ways to poke holes in this Packers defense, keep them out of some of those disguises like we were looking at in the film breakdown, and that's going to be what does it for the Commanders. So I got them winning 28-24. Big days from Javon Kinlaw and Deron Payne are needed. Do not let Josh Jacobs establish himself, allow the Packers to control the time of possession, and then open up the deep shot down the field. And also to the secondary, I'm saying this. Quan Martin, you got an interception last week. It was called off for roughing the passer by Bobby Wagner, but go get me another one. Trey Amos, get me one. Marshawn Lattimore, Mike Samuel, somebody get me one. Because the Packers, since 2023, when Jordan Love became the starter, they're 6-11 when he throws an interception, 14-5 when he doesn't. So if he plays a clean game, there's a very good chance they win. And also Jordan Love basically never gets sacked. So these 5-man pressure looks, whatever it's going to take, get after him, force him to throw a ball that he regrets, and pick that ball off. That is how you win the game. Before I head on out of here, just a super quick note. Jacory Croskey-Merritt, first player in NFL history drafted 200th or later to have 75 rushing yards and a touchdown in his NFL debut. Tip of the cap to Mr. Croskey-Merritt for getting after it and doing his thing early. He's also going to be big in this game tonight. And there is a report that the Commanders consider him the RB1 of the future. They are just working him into that. They don't want to put the pressure on him, the onus on him right now, but they do view him as that guy moving forward. Guys, that's going to do it for this video. Make sure you hit the like button if you enjoyed. Hit the subscribe button as well if you're new around here. To the returning subscribers, I appreciate you guys, as always, being locked in with me. Go to the comment section. Let me know your official score predictions for tonight's Thursday night game. And as always, I will catch you in the next one. Have a great day.